Hello everyone! Today we continue working on Damiano line. In the previous lecture we covered the Damiano Gambit, but this time the second interesting line which happened in the Petroff defense. After e4, e5, knight f3, so knight f6, one of the most interesting and quite modern opening line, where black is trying to limit all white's opportunity which could happen after knight c6 and bishop b5 and bishop c4 or d4. So the Petroff defense, and one of the most playable today option, and this is the main weapon of the ex-world champion Vladimir Kramnik, one of the greatest grandmasters of the last 20 years. Boris and Petroff defense is one of the main weapons of the brilliant English grandmaster Mike Adams. However, after knight takes e5, which one of the main lines, instead of playing d6, which leads to the main and the most important position of the Petroff defense, black can try playing, looks like dubious, knight takes e4 move. So I could tell you that usually knight takes e4 is played or by total novice players or total beginner, or for a player who really knows about this line and really prepared for it. Queen e2 looks like the best and the strongest continuation, since after d4 instead, black can answer d6 and white more or less forced to move the knight to f3 back, since move knight takes f7, which looks like very strong move. After king takes f7, queen h5, white is gaining back the piece, since black is almost forced to play g6, and after queen d5, white is winning back the knight on e4. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. Let's understand why. Not because king g8, which leads to the checkmate after queen d5, but because after knight takes f7, black is not forced to capture the knight. He can play queen e7, threatening now to capture the knight on f7, and after knight takes h8, knight c3 check. Look at that. White is losing his queen. So usually the knight takes e4 move was considered as a beginner mistake, because after queen e2, knight f6 or knight c6, black is losing his strongest piece after knight c6 check. So, however, after queen e2, black is not forced to move the knight back. However, how to support it? After d5, again d3 leads to the big problem. Knight cannot move back because knight c6. Move like counter-attacking move, let's say bishop d6, trying to counter-attack the knight on e5. After knight f3, still the knight on e4 is hanging. It's pinned and white is getting the decisive material advantage. So, after we consider the best options, now we understand that for black only one move here is queen e7. Queen takes e4, and now we have to try winning back the knight on e5 after d6 move. So clearly that white's knight cannot leave the e5 square because the queen on e4 is hanging. However, white could support this knight by playing d4. All other moves are just really less serious in this case. After d4, white also ready to develop the bishop on f4. Also knight is coming to c3, so the light square bishop also is ready to be developed on c4. It looks like from